Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Football Focus Weekly, episode 38. With me, your boy, Nyata Kenan Kunya, MSC, and my co-host, Mr. AK Rutto himself.
We back.
Producer, George.
Ati Nyata Kenan Kunya.
Yes.
MSC.
Mwenyewe. And Josh. George and Josh. Mnaweza unda band. Muite George and Josh. Weekend yako ilikuwa aje Rutto?
Hey, weekend ni mbaya manze. Lost an FA Cup final. We've ended up like Arsenal this weekend. Trophyless.
Bottless.
But you know, si tuna focus na Club World Cup. Yeah, that's what we're focused on.
Uzuri Arsenal ina kitu kufocus on. George, how was your weekend?
Imekuwa ngumu.
What happened?
I think you'll speak on me and on my behalf.
Okay. Yeah, so we had tulikuwa tuna weekend normal. Weekend yetu ilianza Friday kaime. Actually Friday, Saturday was my birthday. Then kuingia Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Umeturn
21.
Ati 21.
Sasa mimi ni wonder kid. I still have 3 more years za kushinda young player of the season.
Boss.
Uko na masters na uko 21. Aje.
Nilianza undergrad nikiwa 14.
Yamal.
Yeah.
Sema IQ score yako ilikuwa ngapi ndio anze undergrad?
180. 180 out of this world.
Ushefanya IQ score? Unatupa tu. Ushefanya IQ score?
Mimi sijaifanya by the way.
Lazima tufanye si wote.
Kabla tumalize.
But I think okay, sijui kama nishaifanya. But yangu inakaa kwa juu.
180. Undani yako ni 180.
Okay, sijui. Obama iko 112, si ndio? Ama 115?
I don't know.
Obama inakuwa kwa 112 ama 115.
Ruto nadhani yako inakaa kwa.
Ka Obama kwa 112 bro.
Obama ni doanzi.
Mtalenda Harvard ni doanzi.
Obama went to Harvard. Studying what?
That's where he met Michelle Obama. I don't know what he was studying.
Sasa nijue. Alienda before kwa Obama?
Yeah, he was in Harvard, I think.
Crazy. As in before kwa sasa the Obama we know.
Wait, who are we talking about? Obama
Barack.
Young ama Obama?
Barack Obama.
He said Oba.
Anasema Obama.
Obama. Unaona hata umenini?
Obama.
Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sawa.
Ni player mgani anakaa kwa IQ iko crazy?
Akanji.
Alikuwa anataka kusema Akanji.
Jua math?
Msana jua mao bro.
Pia Mata. Mata. Ako na masters. Pia Rodri.
Rodri ilikuwa undergrad.
I need to see this.
Rodri ilikuwa masters.
Zizi Mata ndio ako na masters I think.
Si Rodri I think ako na undergrad business administration.
Alikuwa anaishi hostel akichezea Atletico. Duanzi as in ni Duanzi ndio, but napendanga maisha yake koloki.
Ushaisikia hiyo story ya company pia the way Ferguson was to sign him but he alimwambia I'm still in uni.
Azi.
Okay, I saw that story juice.
Ati Juan Mata holds 2 undergrad degrees from Madrid's Universidad. One in marketing and one in sports science.
Hana masters?
I don't think he has.
Kuna player mgani ako na masters?
Dude, he also went to Harvard.
Mata.
Yeah, graduate program in business of entertainment, media and sports.
Yeah, Mata ni chopi.
Yeah, amesoma.
Okay.
Alafu pia Lampard ama Rio mojao.
Mata ni wa Man U. Karibu nishangae atutaji mtu Arsenal hakuna.
Hakuna.
So
Saka alikuwa anauza pilipili. Wadhani mwana anaitwa Lil Chili. Hadi hizi socks yeye alinitumia.
Lil Chili. Toka.
Si anauza pilipili.
Luis Kelly ako high school bado, you know.
Na nyinyi haters.
Anyway, so on Friday we had Chelsea taking on Manchester United at the Bridge. I felt like the first 50 minutes by our standards United played so well.
Yeah.
Like everything, like ilinipea a glimpse of what to expect in the final, in as much as the players have given up to the kwa Premier League juu hakuna kitu to play for.
Yeah.
Tulikuwa na press fit, passing well, like tulimake hadi mafans wa Chelsea wakakuwa restless. Walikuwa na boo their own players
because they weren't playing well.
Yeah, but then uko mbele tuko na I'd rather we play Maguire as a striker. That offside goal was crazy.
That touch, that's a striker's touch.
Like achana the goal. Like what made me question Højlund ni the movement. Ni aje center back akoneo movement yenye center forward unafaa kwa
na Højlund yuko hapo.
Højlund ananisinya. So Højlund was the difference in that game.
But do you think it has happened the same way where Arsenal were also playing the same way against PSG, where the first 20 minutes it was all Arsenal?
Yeah.
Until that first goal, tempo ikenda chini. Yeah.
But sasa unaona for them they had something to play for.
Chelsea had something to play for.
Yeah, Chelsea had something to play for.
Top 4.
Yeah, top 4. Alafu sisi ni vibes tu.
Mnangoja tu weno.
Plus ni doza nini acha si mob ni 3 million difference. Za Premier League tutapewa hata kitu less but ni 3 million difference. Yeah,
mimi nifano mani like nimesema na mauchungu.
Straight from the heart.
Yeah, 3 million. You say like it doesn't mean anything.
Ziz, tuko na do bro.
Chelsea hawana.
Chelsea hawana do. Sina, okay, wako na do but they have smart owners. Wenye waliona loop ya kusign alafu wakatumia do most. Si tumekuwa na Woodward. Like at times I miss Woodward. In as much as yende ametoka kwa hii position, I feel like alikuwa na sign kutoka Twitter. Akiingia Twitter one player wenye mafans wamani wanadai. Anaenda na msign. Sign kwa sure angetuma achiki 50 million plus McTominay to Barcelona watupe Lamine Yamal.
McTominay is still on loan ama?
Atuliuza. He's even taking free kicks.
Back, bro.
But tuko na buy sell on clause.
Yeah, how much? Hizi vitu na unajua.
30% I think.
MSC mwenyewe.
Yeah, so for United, I feel like the players honestly wame give up na Premier League. Washachoka nayo. Wana focus tu kwa final. Alafu Chelsea Caicedo bro.
Credit to Chelsea. Caicedo, even Lavia when he came on.
He
came on in the final minutes when United were really pressing. He controlled the game. Even their fullbacks. Reece James has been available for like 5 months.
And Cucurella. Bro, what a redemption arc.
I think leaving Kakes and Robinson, I think Cucurella is one of the best left backs in the league.
Yeah, he is. Definitely. Ni venye tu he plays for Chelsea, that's why people don't give him the credit. And but he's a very good left back.
Top 4 race, I think Chelsea can make it. I think they're playing Nottingham the next game.
A crazy game for them.
So even next season, Chelsea are a team to
watch.
To watch, definitely.
Plus, they also need to sign some players.
Yeah, in the summer, definitely. Even Joe Felix, I think, is coming back. But I don't know if he'll find his place in that squad. But yeah, they've really revitalized how their season have gone. I
think my problem with... not problem per se, but Chelsea, the way they play, Maresca wants control. And I don't think Palmer is a player who flourishes under control. I saw that. Ye ni mse wa chaos.
I think the Athletic made a post about him. All the goals, he's like a big percentage of his goals are from transitions where Chelsea are on the counter.
Yeah.
And when players are panicking, he's good under pressure and where he can make a very quick decision, a pass, a shot, a dribble. That's where he really thrives under chaos. Yeah.
So that's the reason why this season he hasn't been.
Most definitely.
But he was nominated for Player of the Season. As in, I didn't kashtuka.
Yeah, but amid like from January, before like since August to like December, he was still putting up good numbers. And I think his GA is quite high.
He went for 19 games without a goal.
Yeah, but there was also a stat that SG he's made how many chances created, about like 19 or 20.
He was even benched. Actually dropped. You know, that's like us dropping Bruno.
Yeah, it's unplayable.
There was a time yenye hakuwa na GA, but hakuwa na have an impact on the game. Hadi Chelsea fans wakaanza kumuita one season wonder.
That was crazy though. I wouldn't call Palmer.
It was meant to happen because last season Ali raised the bar way too high.
Yeah, way too high.
Yeah,
people
Bruno
are judging him off that bar.
Yeah. But he's still a good player. So me, I feel like I wonder next season itakuwa aje juu what Maresca has found ni a midfield of Caicedo, Enzo and Lavia works perfectly.
Definitely.
So where will you play Palmer? Juu Madueke akiacha kusag atakuwa beast.
Would he be better on the right? I think
He can play.
first few games of the season he was playing on the right.
Yeah. But I think he's good on the left because now he's forced to pass more than to
score.
Yeah, plus he's unpredictable.
Yeah.
Now because
He's both-footed. He can go on both feet.
Yeah. So it's credit to Chelsea. I think they'll go to Champions League. And I see them beating Nottingham Forest in the last game of the season. Then we had United nemesis Spurs play at Villa and they lost. Like it was so expected.
The same thing about Chelsea and Man United.
Yeah.
Villa have something to play for. Tottenham pia wako vibes.
Na Europa League.
Wanangoja tu
Plus they rotated the players. Plus Kulusevski akaumia.
Also Maddison is injured.
Yeah, Maddison pia ameumia. Bergval.
That's a very big miss for them on Wednesday.
But Spurs are Spurs.
It's a Spursy thing.
Yeah. Like we didn't expect much from them. They have lost like 19 or 20 games.
I think 21.
So ni hideous twins. Tuko tu hapa na hapa kwa hapa. Tunafuatana tu pole pole. Like they're so mid, but it was a good result from Villa, who I think the last game of the season, depending on the result on Wednesday, wanakuja Old Trafford.
They had also dipped a bit in form.
Yeah, Villa.
I think they were beaten by Newcastle, then they were beaten by City.
Villa?
Yeah.
Nah, they beat Newcastle.
Oh no, they beat Newcastle.
Then they
came
lost
to the Etihad.
and lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that affected them in a way.
That top four race, like you drop 1 point,
You're
coming from 4th to 6th.
So, do you see them going to Champions League or Europa?
I think Europa, because if I'm to draft a like top 5, if we win, I think we're third. Newcastle is 4th, Chelsea is 5th.
Yeah.
So I think definitely they'll be like
plus,
6th.
Plus, it's good for them to go to Europa because feasibly, it's easier for them to win Europa than Champions League.
If they went bar for bar with PSG at Villa, they would be very big contenders for the Europa next season. Definitely, yeah.
They will. They have to. So it was a good result for them. Were maintain hapo juu. Then Spurs, they rotated players plus they have nothing to play for.
Definitely.
Plus they are Spurs.
Yeah.
Closer to Arsenal, so
it's the same connection.
Yeah, there's that connection.
Yeah, definitely.
On Saturday
the
at
final.
Wembley, the FA final, we had Palace taking on City.
Manchester City.
What are your takes from the game?
I had a lot of takes actually. Firstly, that squad, that starting lineup was just like when I saw that starting lineup, it just reminded me of 2021 UCL final against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Where I think we started a midfield of
with
Gundogan,
no
De Bruyne and Foden.
Yeah.
With no center defensive midfielder. Pep in that year, 75 games he had either started Fernandinho or Rodri. But that's the one game he didn't start any of them.
Yeah.
And also same to this, I didn't understand why in January, the whole of the season we were talking about how City need to find a good defensive midfielder when January comes. Nico Gonzalez came in, Kusanov came in. I do understand people like Victor Reis and Echeverri, they're quite young.
Yeah.
So they're being given time to develop. But players like Kusanov, where I don't understand why he started at Kanji and he's still not fit when we played against Southampton. His passes were sloppy. He wasn't up to pace. And also that game, Kovacic is injured. Obviously, your next replacement is Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So that's also a really big downplay because if you're going to play a double pivot of Bernardo and De Bruyne and Crystal Palace are a team where they start with wing backs, they're always going to destroy you in the transition if you don't have like fast players who can break down.
Midfield.
Exactly. So even that goal we conceded, it was very predictable.
Result of transition.
Out of transition.
The same thing the manager said actually after when you guys beat them 5
at the
at the
Etihad.
Etihad.
He said,
Yeah.
if you play that same system,
Yes.
we'll beat you.
Yeah.
But congrats to Palace. Even though he played badly, Palace also played well.
Yeah.
I'll give the applaudance.
And defended well.
They defended very well.
And credit to Hendo for rattling Pep.
Bro, I also saw like some medical staff were also beefing.
Yeah, they were
on the
fighting. And
sidelines.
Foden was like Foden from being a star player to Yendo Stan stopisha fights.
Now, that's what I'm wondering about. A big problem even about Foden is I wonder how he slots into the squad next season. because right now we're actively looking for a number 10.
Yeah.
And let's say we get a Gibbs White, who's maybe a direct replacement.
And
of
now
De Bruyne.
Echeverry is coming up.
Yeah. I don't think Gibbs White will be a player who will be slotted in and out, week in, week out. I think he'll be one of those constant, like a Rodri of some sort, where big games, big occasions, he's the one playing at number 10. And we've seen Foden being pushed out to the wing. He tries to affect the game by coming into the spaces.
Yeah.
But if you see how teams set up against City, in the middle of the park, you don't really get that much space to operate in.
Yeah.
So that's also an interesting thing to see how things will go next season for him.
I think for me, it was more poetic. Actually, before nifike kwa City, it was more poetic from the tifo that Palace had. You saw the story?
No.
So that tifo, it's a dad with 2 kids.
Oh, and they were hugging. I
That
think.
picture was taken in 2011 in OT when they knocked us out of, I think, Carabao in the semis. In the quarters, rather. So the dad died.
So it was like
The kids were there. Wow, they didn't know.
Damn.
So they saw it. And
then-
it was like, that was a crazy tribute. Alafu, it was, they won their first.
this season, for the underdogs.
Then, personally, I think I liked the way City set up. Like, that's your best lineup.
Yeah.
But my problem was with 2 players, no DM, and your defense, I feel like Kusanov will have started because he can go toe-to-toe with Sa and Eze on speed. And
Yeah,
Munoz.
he's very fast.
Yeah, he's very fast. So, hiyo ndio problem yenye Pep alikosea because I feel like he went for control more
Yeah.
to try to nullify those counters. But then when you control more and you defend in possession, you are prone to leave spaces in behind. And that's where Mateta comes in and was bullying.
Even like Nico Riley.
Yeah.
As a second left winger.
Yeah.
There's so much space for Nani to operate, the wing backs to operate in.
Then the controversial red card. Personally, I think it was a red because that's a denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Generally, I heard like on the commentators box that apparently the player wasn't going towards goal.
Yeah.
I don't understand this new, like every time a big controversial VAR like moment happens, a new rule that you've never heard of comes up.
Bro, there's some time back I heard of a subjective offside.
Hadi usijaiski anasikia saizi on the pod.
Ati yako offside, lakini kuna watu wengine watadhani yuko offside.
Genuinely, VAR, that was very too controversial.
Plus, it's in a final.
Yeah, and you can clearly see if Henderson doesn't go for the ball, Haaland taps it past him.
Yeah, like
goes around him.
Like the goal is
Open
scored versus
goal.
Chelsea, I think.
Yeah. Genuinely, if Henderson genuinely doesn't touch it, Haaland's foot is next to the ball.
Yeah.
He passes him. The keeper's momentum is going outside the box.
Yeah.
Haaland passes him and it's a goal. And then also, Haaland giving out the penalty to Mamouche was also something I didn't understand. Because if you're top number 9 and you're the main striker of a team, you're the one who's supposed to take the penalty. Even Haaland himself, I think he's been to 4 finals in Wembley. He still hasn't scored.
Yeah, he has never scored.
I genuinely saw it coming where when you give up another teammate, there's added pressure to him.
I said it in the group. He's missing.
Yeah, because if Mamouche knows Haaland is taking this pen, then he comes and gives you the ball.
Like
that's added pressure.
Yeah,
to
like Mamouche didn't know. You see, Hendo said that
if it was Haaland, he would have not known what side
but
was going.
for Mamouche, he knew where he
exactly.
Because Mamouche didn't know that he was going to take a pen unless you guys had gone to a shootout, right?
Exactly.
So when Haaland gave him,
That's
unastuko una chance. So you go to the side that umezoea. And that's the side that the keeper has practiced to save from.
So it was quite so after that penalty, I knew this is not.
It's not your day.
Because the red card decision, the penalty, I just knew everything is going.
Plus, but I think the ref in a way balance because that in a million times is never a penalty. Bernardo, that was a heavy touch. Akaona hata fikia ball.
Obviously, the player knew. Bernardo knew if he takes a heavy touch, the player is already going towards his body.
Yeah.
So he knew what he was doing when he did that.
It's like Ivo Saka, this George from Chelsea.
Yeah.
There's a dive he had versus United.
The one Onana came,
but
Onana pushed back. Onana, I remember, I saw him, and his reaction was timid.
But
he was scared.
Mitchell was so mid, as in angeshika ball kwanza.
Hakushika ball. He was just waiting for Onana to come.
So
But even Jota does it against Liverpool a lot
yeah,
of times.
a lot. Jota is smart. Yeah.
I think it was against Newcastle last
Newcastle,
season.
yeah.
They were given a pen where he clearly dived.
And they've gotten a lot of those.
But that decision of
Yeah.
that, like, it really hurt seeing those pictures of Henderson handling the ball and then he goes on to save the penalty.
So do you think this result affects you guys going forward? You will finish the season high, alafu you go for FIFA Club World Cup?
I still think even if we won the FA Cup, this season wouldn't be a success. Or the FA Cup wouldn't make this season any better.
But you'll be successful than Arsenal.
Exactly, if we win the Club World Cup, that is. Because even at the start of the season, everyone was predicting,
Treble.
Liverpool have lost Jurgen Klopp, Arsenal is Arsenal. So everyone predicted City is going to win the league.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't. And we didn't even challenge in the Champions League really far. We did have a good run in the FA Cup, but it was against lower league teams. I think the only team we had, like, it was a hard fixture.
Same.
I think the same is against Nottingham.
Yeah.
Which we actually were lucky to go through because Morgan Gibbs-White, I think, hit the post thrice.
Yeah. And the Langa had a 1v1.
Yeah. So definitely it doesn't still like paint the picture of having an okay season. It's still a very, very bad season in terms of City's
Standards.
Yeah, exactly.
So say focus ni malze Champions League position and win the FIFA Club World Cup.
Yeah, because I know if we win against Bournemouth, we're guaranteed to be in the Champions League. So after that, definitely just to focus on the Club World Cup.
So do you think KDB leaves before or after?
I've seen, I think on the press conference, Pep hasn't discussed with KDB in terms of the Club World Cup, but I do think he'll leave before because he's already in talks with, I think, one of the MLS teams, and also Napoli are also looking into him. And I think he did agree personal terms, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I don't think he'll compete in the Club World Cup. But if he does, obviously that's an added
advantage.
Because I still think KDB is still our best. Like, even if
Creator.
you watch that Palace game, the amount of passes threading through, like the Echeverry chance, Bernardo, Nico Riley had a good chance as well, where he took it to his left foot, but he should have shot it with his right. But yeah, I still think he's one of our best attackers. And if he finds a good club, maybe in Serie A or in the MLS, he's still at that level, as he says in press conferences. Yeah.
Then on Sunday, we had Newcastle go to the Emirates to take on the Arsenal.
I was an Arsenal fan that day, actually, for the first time in a long time.
Oh, you wanted them to
I
win
wanted Arsenal
so
to
that
win,
you can stand a chance to go to Champions League.
Yeah, so
It was a mid game from Newcastle, from Arsenal in the first half. Like, Newcastle deserved, if they had Isak, wangekuwa 3 ama 4-0 up in
he's
the
injured.
first 30
He
minutes.
wasn't playing.
Akona injury. Groin. So the whole of the first half, Arsenal was so mid. I was shocked. Like, they were so open. They were playing kills.
No control.
Yeah, if you play chaotic football with Newcastle,
They're going to
United,
thrive.
bro,
Chelsea,
and
Utati.
Chelsea, yeah. So
Bro, why are you shocked? It's Arsenal.
they don't play chaotic though. You saw what happened to them when they tried that at OT. We almost killed them.
Hapana jaribu.
Hapana jaribu
The
hiyo
FA
mchezo.
Cup.
No. The Premier League.
Premier League.
Yeah, ile yenye walibatikia 1-1 wenye Raya was man of the match.
Alafu pia Hoyland
Yeah, Wayland akafanya venye anafanyanga. So first half walikuwa mid, then second half they changed a little bit, waka some control, then Rice scored a beautiful goal.
Credit to Rice, by the way.
Yeah.
He's also been a very consistent performer
Yeah.
in that Arsenal team.
Alafu Havertz came back, advantage to them. Then I've heard that Timber is going for an
surgery.
ankle. Yeah. That will be a backlash. Juu sasa, instead of signing a striker, I think what sign
Another fullback.
like Arsenal just being Arsenal. But it was naive from Newcastle in the second half. Like, they lucky feel like they have qualified for Champions League, even though they haven't yet fully. But when you at second half, haikunibamba.
It wasn't convincing. But even I watched the last, I think, 10 minutes. They were really pressuring Arsenal. Even
Hiyo ni kutafuta tu nini. Sasa Arsenal were in the park the bus mode. Yeah, but overall performance yao haikuwa mzuri.
And they eventually lost.
Yeah, they lost 1-0, and credit to Arsenal who have now qualified for UCL and they want to finish second.
Certificate of participation.
Yeah.
Bas.
Wako nazo kaa zote.
Congrats to Arsenal for real.
Alafu I feel like they'll release a party umsa ameisha.
But a few weeks ago they were saying parties
He's the best, yeah, but the recent games he's been mid
after the injury.
Yeah. I feel like they'll release him, plus now that they have signed
Zubimendi, yeah, definitely.
Huyo hezi salia kwenye hiyo klabu.
But don't you think they'll play like Zubimendi then Rice as an 8?
Yeah, and they need a creative force. I don't think Odegaard will take them far.
No,
hana hiyo force factor. Like there's, as a creative, you need to be a good carrier. You need to shoot. You need to have
pass.
that. He can pass, but you need to have that. I can carry my team moment, and to have that force factor, like that. You see, there's a pass yenye hakuna mtu anawezaona, but KDB anawezaona na
that X factor in the team.
Yeah, that one. I think Odegaard lacks that. They need to sign someone who can help him when they going get stuff for them. So they need to sign a number 10.
Wase niko na joke. What did Rice use to score his goal? Not use, but yeah.
Legs.
Tuambie.
Technique. Shout out to Bobby.
Hey, kali.
Choka nje pigwa na upepo.
Watu wa
Siko hivyo,
Man U.
bro. Mimi wenyu.
Yeah, so that's it from Arsenal. Now they focus on next season.
But as always, Netflix FC.
Yeah,
We always wait for next season.
Then on Wednesday,
We move on.
we have the biggest. Like, it will be redemption for both teams. It will be Casemiro, who has never lost a European final, versus Onana, who has never won a European final.
Damn.
It will be Garnacho, who has never gone a season trophyless, versus Ange, who always wins
in his
something
second season.
in his second season. Yeah, so it will be a crazy game, considering both teams where they are in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Number
16,
16 and 17.
So the one
Then,
who loses.
This will be an easy route for them to Champions League football.
Very.
Yeah, na the one who loses. Okay, Spurs wakilose itakuwa, I think, normal.
Yeah, because kila mtu atasema it's a Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs, yeah. But if United lose, itakuwa crazy.
Dunia itashake, kutakuwa na
Bro,
earthquake.
I saw an article that said if United lose, I think Glazers will be forced to sell.
Wala.
Juu hakuna do.
Si hadi nasikia mlikuwa
For real?
save do.
Yeah.
Si mlikuwa mmesema hakuna bus parade mkuwe na barbecue hapo.
Acha in 3 months, there's a clause in 3 months time that Glazers can sell even Sir Jim's shares. Plus
Damn.
now he lost was it a quarter or a third of his wealth since joining United? Like
A third of his wealth.
yeah, so see he's on now 17 billion. He lost 7 billion
Because he invested in United.
In how many months?
since joining United.
When was
Okay, not like directly with United,
Yeah.
but his business in general
Since-
took that hit. So hana do na Glazers hawana do. Now if we fail to qualify to European football,
That's another thing also.
the club will be in
'Cause you
huge
don't earn
problems.
funds.
Yeah. So they'll be forced to sell. Yeah, so where will be, according to you, where will the game be won or lost?
Firstly, I think this game will be won in terms of key players. With Tottenham losing Kulusevski and also Maddison. That's a very big blow
hit.
for them in terms of their creative outlets.
Yeah.
And United having Ahmad back, Bruno is still performing. Casemiro has also revitalized his season.
Yeah.
Maguire is playing like a true number 9. So definitely, in terms of key players, United have that upper hand. But also Tottenham, they haven't lost to United this season. I know there's that argument of City, we beat you guys twice, then you guys beat us in the FA Cup. So that also adds to the drama.
Yeah.
It's a very hard game to predict, but I see United winning.
Amen.
But there's also that narrative of the underdogs.
Yeah,
This season for the underdogs.
Yeah.
Bologna beats AC Milan.
Yeah.
Palace beat City.
Kane
Won
wins
his first trophy.
in 31 years.
This season is for the underdog, but
Yeah.
we'll definitely see how it goes.
Who's the underdog in this game?
Tottenham, I think. Because
Well, if you go with the European pedigree, it's Spurs.
Lisina,
But
1972.
but band for band, player for player, It's United.
definitely
Where
United.
did Tottenham season go wrong?
I
Tactics
feel injuries and tactics. The manager was too stubborn to
to change. And
ni
he was
plan A.
saying that if you
Yen Kabielsa.
yeah. Also Pep amekuwa hivyo, amekuwa very stubborn on tactics where
Yeah.
if plan A doesn't work,
You stick to it until it works.
Yeah.
So now that's a problem. Because now teams first season was okay until season ikaenda kuisha, teams found out the way he plays.
With the high line.
Yeah. So it's easier to prepare against Spurs.
The perfect example is that game against Chelsea.
Yeah.
They lost 2 people through red cards, but they still played the high line.
Hiyo na Hansi Flick hawana difference.
No
Nika
difference.
yake tu ni vile yake haijaja faulu.
But
Yake ijaomoka.
yeah, Hansi Flick unaweza sema ni relentless plus Spurs are Spurs.
Spurs are Spurs.
Yeah, so for me I think this will be a tough game kwa timu zote mbili juu ziko na pressure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my fans one expect a lot. Then key players, as you said, Spurs will miss Kulusevski and Madders. Goes on the creative outlets zao, but now they have Son back. In as much as he's not yet fit, but Son can have a moment.
Dom Solanke also.
Yeah. Then United don't have a striker,
Manze.
Kuna Højlund.
but I've seen rumors that Zaxi can make it to the bench from United map tiers.
Definitely.
Yeah, so there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Then if you look at the teams, what is gonna pressure here? But if you look at the two teams, United has to win it more than any Spurs.
In terms of funds and the
Like
whole
everything,
the
like
whole
the whole
picture.
yeah. But winning it won't solve a lot, but it will solve something. Plus, Bruno and Ahmad, as you said, those are 2 players who can win you the game any time.
Very true.
Yeah, and I don't think Spurs are that type of player. Now that Madders and Kulusevski are injured, they don't have that. So that can be an advantage. Plus the fact that we've already played there and won.
And I feel like also you guys had a harder route to the final.
Yeah. Plus that Lyon comeback, it did something mentally to the players.
Yeah. Even Meno is back. I think Meno is back.
So we are playing in a stadium that we played and won 3-0. So kiasi tunaijua. Then I just think United are going to win 3-1.
I saw this argument the other day. Let me ask you. Do you think by you guys winning the Europa League, you've had a better season than Arsenal?
Definitely. Bro, even if we won Bangkok Super Cup, we will definitely have had.
But I've seen that argument in terms of league position, points, games played.
We don't
in the
care.
Premier League.
Like, right now, in the next 10 years, fans are more likely to remember United were 2025 Europa League champions than Arsenal
being
finishing
second.
Yeah. So league positions that don't have that much of an impact per se. Okay, because United shouldn't be there, but Supercomputer had predicted, even with Ten Hag as the manager, had predicted we were on the route to finish with 45 points.
Right on.
Like this season ikianza.
Rutto, watch.
It's only there.
Like 45 points. This
No, as
season
in how many points do you have right now?
39.
Wow.
Haungesema
so-
anajua kitu alikuwa anafanya umse.
So
Useless.
more or less we are where we were supposed to be.
Predicted, yeah.
Yeah, so United have to win this. So I'm going for United to win 3-1.
I'm also going for a 2-0 win to United.
Mimi I want Man U to win, obviously. But as soon as you said story now selling the club, I wouldn't
think
mind
twice.
losing.
But that's also adding pressure to the players to win. Like United need it more.
Dude, those guys need to go. Tufunge tu hapo.
Yeah, they just need to go.
Gotta leave.
They gotta leave, bruv.
Yeah.
Higher on Sunday, the last day of the league, we have Bournemouth taking on already relegated Leicester.
Hiyo ni participation game for Leicester.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to the Premier League. Bournemouth, I think they're still battling for 6th for the Europa League. Yeah, so I definitely think I'm going for a Bournemouth 2-0 win.
Going for Bournemouth to win 3-1. Then Fulham taking on Manchester City at the Cottage.
Is it on? It's Sunday or Saturday?
Sunday. Zote ziko Sunday.
It's one
Yeah.
time. That's a very hard game. I think Fulham were confirmed not to be in Europe.
Yeah.
After Palace won
Yeah.
the FA Cup.
Yeah.
So basically, they don't have anything to play for. City, if we don't get a result against Bournemouth on Tuesday, that's added pressure for the game against Fulham.
Yeah.
But I definitely think we still need to finish the season on a high note. So I'm going for a 2-0 City win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Ipswich take on West Ham. Oh, my prediction for City. I think City will win 3-1.
Bus.
Yeah.
Then
Ipswich taking on West Ham.
Your participation game
For
West Ham.
Ipswich.
Both teams, I think, hadi West Ham si wako hapo
Yeah.
17th, 18th.
Yeah.
Ipswich
Wako actually Germany 15.
Walai.
Mm.
So sahi ni bragging rights wanadai.
Yeah.
I'll go for a 2-2 draw. An interesting game.
I think Ipswich will win and finish their Premier League tenure in style 2-1.
That's a nice prediction.
Then the game that will be most boring in the weekend. Juu team zote zitakuwa na hangs. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace.
Sunday League, bro. Both teams are celebrating winning trophies.
Yeah.
But obviously, Salah still start padding. He wants to break that Premier League assist record. So I'm going for a 2-0 Liverpool win.
I think Liverpool will win 3-1 at home. Then we have United taking on Aston Villa. It will be poetic if we win Europa League. Then we present it. Yeah, we present it
on
at
the last day.
Yeah, at OT versus Emery, who beat us in the last final. Yeah. So we have to do it.
Me, I'm going for a 3-0 Villa win.
I think Villa will win 2-1.
Yeah, because also United Premier League.
Yaisha. Plus, I just want our halftime record to stay intact. We don't score first.
Oh yeah, that one. If you're leading at halftime, you've never lost.
Yeah, we never lost. Yeah. Then at St. James Park, we have Newcastle taking on Everton.
Everton are away.
Yeah.
Because they said goodbye to Goodison Park the other day.
Yeah.
Newcastle also want to end the season on a high in terms of trying to qualify for Champions League. So I'll also think Newcastle have that pressure of we need to finish the season very well.
Yeah.
So I'll go for a 3-1 Newcastle win.
I think Newcastle will win 2-1. Then the most entertaining game of the weekend will be Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea at the Forest Stadium.
Very hard game to predict.
Yeah.
Because both teams are on
Going
very
for
high
it.
pressure.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, I think they won during the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus West Ham 2-1.
For me, I'll go for a 2-2 game. I think it's going to be very interesting, high intensity, because both teams will be going for it, taking high risks.
Plus, more likely, it will be Gibbs White's last game.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
if
so
he
he
comes
has
to
to
City.
Yeah. He has to impress.
Yeah.
I'm going for Chelsea to win 2-1.
Going for a 2-2 draw.
We have already relegated Southampton taking on the Arsenal at St. Mary's.
Arsenal number 2, certificate of participation. I'm going for a 2-0 Arsenal win just to end the season.
Yeah, on a high.
They've already qualified for Champions League. Southampton already relegated. Both a very high spectrums of both sides. So yeah, I'm predicting Arsenal to win on a high 2-0 win.
Actually, Southampton is a bogey team for Arsenal. Inawalemeanga vibaya sana. But in this time, I think Arsenal have the upper hand.
Yeah.
Because of quality players.
But that time, even when they were a bogey team to Arsenal, they were fighting relegation.
Yeah. So I'm going for Arsenal to win 2-1. Then we have Spurs taking on Brighton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Brighton is also a big bogey team for Spurs, I think. So yeah, I'm going for a Brighton win.
Same.
We're also battling for Europe.
Yeah.
Go for Brighton 2-0 win.
I'm going for Brighton to win 2-1.
Nice.
Then the last game will be Wolves, who will be taking on free-scoring Brentford in Cunha's last game before he joins United.
Johan Wissa, Mbuemo,
Yeah.
free scoring Brentford.
Yeah.
The attacking this season has been very top, very impressive. I'll go for Brentford 3-2 win. 3-2 win to Brentford.
I'm going for Brentford to win 3-1. Then before we finish, we have to talk about how Serie A has been entertaining this season. It's
What?
going down to the wire.
Very. Did you see what happened during the weekend?
Actually, yesterday,
Yeah.
Napoli was Lazio, then Napoli was Parma, then Lazio was Inter. Zote zikesha draw.
The funny
Because
thing
interchange.
is, the first game I think was the Napoli game. They drew 0-0.
Yeah.
Then it was advantage Inter who were going to play. Then I think they conceded a 90th minute penalty.
Yeah. Then they scored
Very
a 97th
funny.
minute, which was chopped off, offside.
Even Napoli, I think they got a penalty. Then it was chopped off
Yeah. Ju a fall in the build-up.
down to the wire. Even I think the Eredivisie, Ajax had a 9-point
Point
lead
lead.
in January. And they bottled it to PSV. But yeah, it's going to be very...
The last two games.
Yeah, the last two games. But that Serie A title race, it was, I think, a 3-man horse race.
Yeah.
Like, it was Napoli, Inter, and I think
Atalanta.
Atalanta was
Yeah.
also in that race.
Yeah.
And also Juve also coming, but Juve, eventually they dropped. But definitely, I would still want to see Napoli win the league.
Same. I'd love to see Napoli win because...
Mix sauce.
Yeah, Scotch. He's even taking free kicks.
Damn.
So on Sunday it will be amazing. Actually, let me check because Napoli might because they're wow malizi tibu nione. Actually, they play on Saturday. Wow, game zao zote si za ama wanacheza lini tena? Friday.
Let me check.
They play on Friday. It will be on Friday.
Every game.
Na like the two games, wow, game zao hazimalizi ati ligi kisha game zote zinachezwa same day.
Yeah, Como are playing Inter.
And Napoli are playing Cagliari on Friday.
Same time.
Yeah,
9:45.
We will be there.
We will be there, definitely.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Wait. Speaking of Nini, in the EPL, who misses out on Europe?
Or you want us to give like the predictions?
Yeah.
So obviously,
Okay, sawa.
okay, mine. Liverpool, Arsenal first. Third, I think, will be City. Fourth will be Newcastle. Fifth, Chelsea. Then I think sixth. Now sixth will depend on the results for Chelsea, Nottingham. Because if Nottingham drop points, and then Villa win, they'll be sixth. But I'll go for sixth Villa, seventh Nottingham. Yeah.
Same for you.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and follow Rutto on all platforms.
On Instagram, ak.rutto. TikTok, ak.rutto_.
Peace out.